Have you ever wondered how thousands of erasers are made every day? In this fascinating journey, we'll start from the very beginning, the birth of an eraser. The story of the eraser begins with a handful of key ingredients: rubber, sulfur, and vegetable oil. Rubber is the backbone of an eraser, providing the flexibility and durability that we need when we're making those inevitable mistakes. Sulfur, on the other hand, is the unsung hero of the eraser-making process. When combined with rubber, sulfur causes a chemical reaction called vulcanization. This process transforms the rubber from a sticky, malleable substance into a firm, resilient material. In other words, sulfur is what gives an eraser its erasability. And then there's vegetable oil. This unassuming kitchen staple plays a surprisingly important role in the creation of erasers. Vegetable oil is used to soften the rubber-sulfur mixture, making it easier to shape and mold into the rectangular prisms we're familiar with. These three ingredients, rubber, sulfur, and vegetable oil, are mixed together in precise proportions to create a soft, moldable substance. This substance is the raw material that will eventually become the erasers we rely on to remove pencil marks from our papers. It's fascinating to think that such simple, everyday materials can come together to create something so essential to our daily lives, but of course the magic doesn't stop there. This malleable substance then embarks on a journey through a series of processes, each one carefully designed to shape, harden, and perfect the humble eraser. As we delve deeper into the world of eraser production, we'll uncover the intricate details of this journey. From the mixing of the raw materials to the final quality checks, each step plays a crucial role in bringing an eraser to life. Now that we know what goes into an eraser, let's delve into the process of how these materials come together to create the erasers we use every day. The first step in the eraser making process is called mixing. Picture a kitchen, but this is no ordinary cooking session. Here we're dealing with massive quantities of materials and high-tech machinery. In this phase, raw materials like rubber, sulfur, and vegetable oil are introduced into a large industrial mixer, much like a giant bread dough mixer you'd find in a bakery. This is where the magic begins. The mixer spins, combining these ingredients into a uniform mixture. But it's not just about stirring things together. The process involves a significant amount of heat and pressure, transforming the mixture into a thick dough-like substance. This dough is then cooled down to stabilize its consistency. Imagine kneading a huge lump of bread dough, but instead of bread, you're making the humble eraser. All the heat, pressure, and stirring ensures that the ingredients are thoroughly mixed, creating the perfect base for our erasers. Once the materials are thoroughly mixed, they're ready for the next step: extrusion. Extrusion is the process where the eraser dough is shaped into its final form. Now that we've got our dough ready, it's time to give it a makeover. But how do we transform this dough into the familiar little rectangles we all know and love? Well, that's where the magic of extrusion comes in. Imagine this dough as a soft, pliable clay. We feed it into a machine aptly called an extruder. The extruder, a true artist in its own right, works its magic. It takes in the dough and, like a skilled potter, shapes it into long, cylindrical rods. Picture a giant-sized version of your pasta maker at home, only this one churns out eraser rods instead of spaghetti. But we're not done just yet. These rods aren't quite ready to erase your pencil mistakes. They're still too soft, too pliable. So what's next? We need to harden them, and for that, we need heat. We cut these long rods into the familiar rectangular shapes, and then it's time for them to take a hot bath. Don't worry, we're not actually dunking them in water. Instead, we place our freshly cut erasers in a hot oven. This process is called curing. It's similar to baking bread. Just as heat transforms dough into a crusty loaf, it hardens our eraser dough into a tough yet flexible eraser. The heat in the oven causes a chemical reaction that makes the erasers firm, yet able to crumble under pressure, a key characteristic of a good eraser. So, our erasers have taken their shape and had their spa day in the oven. They've gone through a complete transformation, from a soft dough to firm, handy erasers. But hold on, we're not quite finished yet. After the erasers are cured, they're almost ready for use, but there's one more step to complete. Stay tuned to find out what happens next in the fascinating journey of an eraser's life. The final stage in the eraser production process is quality control and packaging. This is where all the hard work pays off, and we ensure that only the best erasers make it to your pencil case. Imagine a team of eagle-eyed inspectors, each with a keen focus on quality. They scrutinize every single eraser, checking for any blemishes or irregularities. If an eraser doesn't meet the required standards, it's a no-go. Only the top-notch erasers pass this stage, ensuring you get a product that's up to scratch. Next, it's time for packaging. The approved erasers are sorted and neatly arranged in boxes, ready for their journey to stores around the world. It's a well-oiled machine, with each eraser finding its place in a perfectly packed box. And there you have it. From raw materials to the final product, it's a fascinating journey, isn't it? And just like that, thousands of erasers are made and ready to correct our mistakes every day. From a simple mixture of materials to a final usable product, the journey of an eraser is quite fascinating. It all begins with a base of rubber, oil, and pumice carefully mixed together. This mixture is the cradle of an eraser's birth, providing the foundation for its existence. Moving on, the mixture is then extruded and cured, a process that transforms it from a soft dough into a firm, shape-holding eraser. This is the stage where the eraser gets its final form, ready to take on any pencil markings that dare to stand in its way. Following this, every eraser goes through a thorough quality control process. Each one is scrutinized, ensuring that only the best make it to the packaging stage. Here, they are lovingly packed, ready to begin their journey to stationery stores around the world. So the next time you use an eraser, you'll know the journey it's been on to reach your hand. Now, isn't that something to think about?